Rocco. Last year they played in Virginia at both places, but Rocco wasn't playing.
Yeah.
So Spin went, but I didn't.
He's a fucking nut.
He is.
He's crazy.
They're dragging their feet on this damn podcast too. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Really, Spindler?
Not him. Locked on. They can't get the guy to check off on it.
Really?
Our show or Pittsburgh for some reason. Maybe he just doesn't have any money. The recession may be killing it.
Yeah.
All right. Stream's up.
All right. You got levels over there on the...
Yep, coming in on here. So, all right.
All right. Well. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the, as of now, unnamed podcast with Mike Walters. That is me. Greg Henson. 3G is in the house. How are you, Greg?
I'm good, man. I drove 13 hours or 11 hours to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd bring your boys and they jump in the pool and stuff.
Well, it's funny, man. We laughed. But Cooper got out of school. He's my high school senior at 3:30. And then he had to go home and take a dump. So I'm like, oh, Coop, I said, because here was we were going to make an epic day, right?
Yeah.
We were going to swing through Pittsburgh and catch the second half of the Backyard Brawl, which turned out to be a great game last night.
Yeah.
But because he had to take a dump, and then I have an issue with my Explorer for some reason.
Uh-oh.
I'm an electrical issue. I'm hoping I get back. Like, it says the lift gate's open, and it's not.
Oh, boy.
Sensor issue.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fix.
Well, and so get this. My warranty runs out in 2,000 miles.
Oh.
So I got to get it back to Virginia in under 2,000.
Oh, no.
So anyway, it's upended the whole thing. We drove through Pitt, and it was like 70,000 people, and I'm like,
Yeah.
do you really want to kill two? And we already weren't getting here till 3 a.m.
Oh.
So I said, let's just keep going.
They're
And-
young. They can handle it.
Yeah, but I can't.
Yeah, right. That's true. T-Roy's in the house, too.
Troy,
I wanted
what's
to
up?
mention.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi, buddy.
man. How
Welcome.
are you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to have you in here, man. That worked out well.
It did.
for us.
I'm glad we could do it. It's good to see Cece the puppy.
Yeah,
And,
she's laying here at my feet right now.
Oh, I love her. I
Yeah.
just love her.
She seems to have taken to you right out the gate, too.
You better make sure she's here when I leave.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. With your broken lift gate, too.
Well,
I don't want her falling out.
That's exactly the dog I want, though, Mike. That's
Yeah.
I'm going to get one. I
Yeah.
already had one when I was single and then my first few years of marriage. But eventually, I'm going to get one like that mini
Yeah.
because I'm going to live in an RV.
Minis are like that. I love that idea. It's
I
it's
can't
great.
wait.
Just
Can't
travel.
wait. Yep.
Minis are like 20 pounds, I think.
Yeah.
She's like 37, but she was the runt of the litter, and so she's tiny for.
Gorgeous.
My brother's dog is like 60 pounds.
Male?
Female.
Really?
Shelby, and she's a big girl.
And she's an Aussie?
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
yeah, pure
She's a little
Aussie,
overweight.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah. A little bit, but she runs like crazy.
I was going to say, Aussies don't normally get overweight
Yeah.
because they just work.
Yeah. Well, she loves going to the pool and just hurting the little basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't shoot hoops out there anymore because she's all over you.
Mine would chase the tennis ball voraciously. So I had to buy one of those long sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I could whip it further. And
Yep.
so we had a routine. We'd go to the Royal Oak Dog Park, and I'd fire that ball. And she'd get it, bring it back, and she'd roll it to me while she looped around in a circle and just started
Wow.
again. And she would go.
Like Canadian football, just
Yeah.
get a running start at it.
And she would she'd never stop until sometimes she'd run till she hurt herself.
Really?
And then she'd have to take 3 days off because she pulled a muscle or something.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
but
that's hilarious.
Those are great dogs.
They're a lot of fun. This one can't be any sweeter. And I have the same thing. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
I think your girlfriend got it for us.
Tennis ball chucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we call it, the chucker.
The chucker. And she was really good at, like, I got her going at first. I'd whip that thing, and she'd go get it and bring it back and just
Okay.
drop it at my feet. And then
Mine too.
then I'd do that like 5 or 6 times. I was like, oh, this is a great day. She's running, her tongue's out, she's fucking having a blast.
Right.
And then she's like, I'm not bringing it back
Yeah,
anymore.
no, I'm done.
And I got to go walk and get it and chuck it. She'll chase it. She'll pick it up, and then she's like, nah. I'm not
Mine would
bringing
go plop down in mud holes to cool her belly off.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to give her a bath.
Yeah.
I'm like, as I watched her walk over, I'm going, if you do that, you're going in the tub. If you do that. And she did it. She didn't care. She's like,
Yeah.
splat right down in a mud puddle because it
Yeah.
would cool them off quickly. So.
back. She's
that-
out cold. She's she's sleeping here. And, yeah. Well, we've had the power out since
I heard.
Monday.
Were those storms really bad?
Not here.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of it. It blew through
wind.
pretty fast. Yeah, there were 70, 75-mile-an-hour winds.
I saw some videos on Facebook from people, and I was like, look at the tree just snap.
Yeah. But it didn't nail us.
No.
But it hit the surrounding areas. So there was like 230 to 280,000 people out of power and like 3,000 power lines down.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't get power back till today. We didn't get internet really until today. Otherwise, we wouldn't be live right now.
Right.
It'd be,
It's been in and out.
so yeah, she hasn't been in the pool in days. She's got like, what's going on, Dad? Why aren't we chilling in the pool? It's driving her nuts.
If I get a new house, I don't know if I'm going to buy it ever again. I might.
Yeah.
Depends on, what's up. I'm going to get one of those big house generators.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
Just so
the
when
only way to go.
Oh, I know. Just so, because there's nothing like the radio stations have, but not that big.
Right.
Whenever the power would go out, if you remember the year the power went out here for like 4 days in
Yeah, the
August.
blackout.
Dude, I was on a plane to San Diego that day, like an hour after everything went down. You're talking about the multi-state
Yeah.
grid going down? Yeah.
Was that 20 years ago already? No, it was.
Probably close.
Gotta be.
No, because it was 19 because my son was 6 months old. So
Okay.
I had an
Pretty
RV
close,
at the
yeah.
time. So I just pulled the RV up outside the house in Royal Oak.
Yeah.
And we lived in that for 3 days.
Yeah.
But you got to get one of those big generators because there's no better sound than that diesel engine firing up.
Firing up.
Well, it's funny you say that because I'm sleeping when it went out the other day at like 6 in the morning, and all of a sudden, my fan shuts off, and I'm like, oh God, did I not pay my fucking electric bill? What's going on here? And then within, I'm not even kidding, a half a second, you hear the neighbors, whole home generator. It's instant.
yeah.
It's instant.
And it's natural gas.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I almost bought one right after that incident.
Yeah.
But then I moved to a different radio station, and I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I wanted to get one of those for my house because it's like the ultimate like compound living, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
But
Yeah.
but then again, what happens when the power goes and the roving hordes of masses are coming looking
Yeah,
to
it's
your
Walking
house
Dead.
for the food? It is.
It's Walking Dead.
He's got a fridge, right? Let's eat.
I like Bill Burr's idea. He's got a helicopter now. He's a pilot.
Oh, nice.
And he's like, as soon as the Walking Dead starts, I'm just whoop, 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 just up in the air and I'm gone. I'm out of LA.
Oh, no doubt, right?
Totally understand that.
But that's
Yeah.
like the movie 2012, where they had to get on their
don't know if I
plane.
saw that.
Who is that guy? The guy who held up the speaker in the movie Better Off Dead?
Oh,
Cusack?
John Cusack. Yeah.
Cusack's in it, yeah.
Okay.
And
Is
he
it
had to
good?
save his family from the world.
of course.
And he's taking the plane off as the
yeah.
world's falling behind him.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Stupid. But wildly entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I was asking you off the air about your station, WRVA
Yep.
in Richmond, Virginia. How's that going?
great. It's
Yeah.
great. God, what a great radio. That city loves that radio station. It's kind of like Riff here.
Really?
And JR, although JR
But it's all talk, right?
It's all talk. It's
Yeah.
all talk. It's the JR of that region.
Mm-hmm.
Albeit it's not Detroit. It's not a big, huge market. It's a big market, but not mega market like Detroit. But
right. What is the what? 50,000?
It's 50.
Yeah.
Tonight, go in your car and put 11:40 a.m. on as soon as the sun goes down, and you can hear it like
No
like
way.
it's a local channel.
Really?
Get out
Yep,
of here.
Yep. I used to listen to it when I lived here.
Really?
You could Jimmy Barrett, who used to be on JR, was their morning guy forever. So some mornings when I was driving in to do mornings, he started a half hour before us. I could hear him on the way in to the station.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
Really?
but it's a big mother.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you've got, it sounds like local talent and then syndicated.
Good mix.
Yeah.
It's a great mix.
Well, with the talent you've got on there, too. It's
Well, my morning guy, this is a conservative talk station. My morning guy is a gay conservative with a black boyfriend.
awesome.
Yeah, call him racist and homophobic now.
Of course. Why not?
Right.
If Larry Elder is.
Right, exactly.
Sure.
And my afternoon guy's a Jewish conservative, and he will tell you that he's told. I said, I thought Jewish people voted for Democrats. He goes, oh, they do, they do.
Not him.
So he's a unicorn too, and so I think that's just unique.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear that it's not just angry white guy radio. These guys are very diverse, and they have great opinions. My morning guy will kick ass.
Really?
He is a tough dude.
Yeah.
And-
Well, that's always the trouble of figuring, like it's really hard to go into a market and start a national platform. You know what I mean? Like 105.1, I think, did that, where it's like you bring in.
That thing was mismanaged from day one.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have built that around Drew.
Yeah.
Left him alone. If I was the PD at that station, Drew would have only called me to get beers with me.
Yeah.
It'd have been like, just do what you do, man.
Do what you do.
You're going to get your 8 share. We'll fix mornings. We won't hire the guys we hired who were retreads and no one cared about.
Right.
And and it would have worked. It wouldn't have beaten 97.1 right away, but it would have made money.
Yeah.
But they just kept hiring the wrong guy. I
Yeah.
begged him. I said,
For
"Let me
that
help
job?
you."
Yeah.
I just called him and I said, "I can help you. I'm telling you,
For sure. You've got a history in this
Yeah.
market of doing that.
And they smartest guy in the room syndrome. Everyone over there knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be forever to get a competitor.
Yeah.
Just because, it's not a cheap format. It costs money to build a great sports station, and there's just not that much money anymore.
I know. I wonder what people are making now. I mean, are people still trying to get into radio? It
Not
seems
really.
like for $20, and an internet connection and a microphone, you can
But you can't get listeners
right
easily. I
Hard.
mean, you've been doing this a long time, and you've got listeners.
Yeah.
And viewers, I guess. But I've done podcasts, and people initially with Michelle and I were really into it.
Yep.
And we got a lot of downloads at first, but then it became sporadic. She's got her stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I was doing it for fun anyway. But with a mic and an internet connection, that's fine. But can you be heard in a crowded world?
Very hard.
Yeah.
Consistency is key in that.
It is. If you show up every week or every day and do your thing, people will put it in their phone and it'll download automatically. The ones I listen to, I know when they're going to be released. And, I have Shapiro's podcast, and I know he's going to do one every day. And I know it's an hour long. I can take my dogs for a walk and get that in. And, there's a couple other ones, but it's a crowded field, man.
Yeah,
And
it is.
That's why radio still matters, because there's still only a finite amount of stations in your town. Although, man, there's a lot of move-ins here. I hit the seek button. It stops on stations that I'd never heard of.
Really?
Like HD2s and translators. Like there's something called 105 something The Patriot, which was never here before.
Yeah.
And
Are those the HD channels where it's like
some of them.
0.2 and 0.3 or whatever? That
Like sub-channels of
yeah.
stations.
Well, you would need an HD receiver to get those, but
Right.
some of them have HDs, which are just like 98.6 or whatever.
Okay.
Like my AM is 1140 AM, and then it's on 96.1 FM, but it's only 250 watts, which means it covers. It's good coverage in a flat market. Like you can't. I had one in Pittsburgh. You couldn't hear over the hill.
Yeah.
But if you have but that's an HD2. I can split that signal and put like the Washington Nationals on one, and like Virginia football on the other.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
sports station is 910 AM and 105.1 can't be split because it's a translator.
Okay.
A translator is a 250 watter that is only meant to enhance your signal at night. But you can run it 24/7, and it's
God, what is the reach on that? I would think that'd be a neighborhood.
No, it's good.
It's good.
250's good.
So how do you get your reach? Like you were saying, we could get RVA up here at night.
50,000.
50,000, but Riff is 50,000.
But
you can't get it in
FM,
Lansing.
FM.
Oh,
FM's line of sight. Like FM's about 75 miles from the tower.
right.
I get letters from people in Finland every week
What?
who send Finland. I just got one yesterday, and they asked me, "Can you?" And they're called DXers, and they sit in their house they set up these fancy antennas, and they send me audio of my station and say, "Is this you? Can you confirm it?" And they try to confirm distance.
Wow.
Really?
They're called DXers. Yeah.
Wow.
So AM.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, the AM signals bounce, and half of them shut off at night. So I don't know where the next 1140 is, but the only person we protect is them. So if they're in Albuquerque, I don't have to worry about anything. There were nights when we would forget to power down the fan, and my buddy up in Minneapolis, who's on 1130, would call and say, "Why can I hear Ike Griffin but not Thor Tolo, who was his guy?" And I said, "Oh crap, let me go power it down." It's automated now, but back in the day, you had to press the buttons to power your station down.
Yeah, yeah.
So FM's line of sight, AM bounces all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get it anywhere.
Wow, that's
I listen to
wild.
JR in Richmond at
That's
night.
crazy. I mean,
cool.
I figure everyone could do that with the internet. Everyone's got access to a lot of that stuff.
But if you're driving around in your car, well, I mean, you can still listen to apps, but
yeah,
a couple years ago, I did it because I'm a nerd.
yeah,
Like when the lines were on JR a couple years ago, I was driving around to Richmond. It was nighttime, and I just popped it on, and there it was, Dan Miller doing his thing.
yeah.
I'm
Do you know Dan?
Very well.
Yeah, he's a
I
good
used to do TV with him.
Oh yeah,
I was on the round table back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
When I was here.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, me and Jamie and Dan.
Yep, yep. Rest in peace, Jamie.
Yeah, JB.
God, it sucked. Sucked losing him. I know we've talked about it
Yeah.
before, but it's
They
tough.
had his,
that one in Killer. Killer Kowalski was really hard too.
Killer. I hired Killer.
Did you?
He was so funny because
He
Killer
was
was
so
always
fun.
trying to get more money out of me.
Yeah.
And so he'd come in and he'd go, JR wants to hire me. And I'd be like, all right, here's $50 more for your reports or whatever. And he knew he wanted to be with us because he had a blast doing
Yeah.
stuff with Stoney Woodrow, me and Jamie. But he was so funny because it's like clockwork every 3-4 months.
Coming begging for more money.
Yeah.
He was funny. Drew used to throw a little mini Super Bowl party. And Tess would make her white bean chili, which was fantastic. And there'd be 10 of us there.
Yeah.
And we'd all just be drinking beers, watching the game, all that. And Killer would come every year. And he would walk in with his own suitcase, like on wheels with his own beer in it.
Yeah,
Like,
he was a beer drinker.
yeah. And
he
he'd
was.
just sit down and fucking crush beers the whole game.
Whenever we did events out by him, he'd roll in, saddle up to the bar, just hang out.
Yeah.
He was a good dude, man.
Very good
Great
dude.
guy. Really
Very
liked
good.
him. And but he was also not afraid to tell you what he thought.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I loved that about him.
He'd get in some epic arguments with Drew
Did
off
he?
the air. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
hilarious.
Usually about sports stuff.
We used to bust his balls about being a lion slappy, and he really wasn't. He was trying to be fair because he was
Yeah.
a journalist, and we'd be like, "Oh, you're kissing their ass, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, eating the cornbread."
Yeah.
And Peyton and him would be going at it out in the bullpen, and it was
Yeah.
pretty funny stuff. But he like hated when he had to defend the Lions because he knew that we would all jump him.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was so funny. And we're like, I'd be on the air going, "Go on, Killer, tee it up,
Yep,
tee
yep.
it up.
You're walking right into it again.
We're gonna get you."
I judge people's character like, is this a good guy, bad guy, whatever, by the way, when we would get guests on, how they treated Mark and I was really important to me.
I agree.
The guys that weren't the face of the program or the upfront superstars, it was like, some people would just kind of blow you off and then they'd light up on the air and you're like, that's kind of a prick.
Yeah.
Killer was the best, man.
Was he?
Oh, yeah. You'd talk. I could be shooting the shit with him right behind Drew on the hotline for 10 minutes. And Drew would be like, dude, you going to put him on?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was like that. It was like, Killer, hold on a second. Drew wants you.
I interviewed for one of your jobs before you.
Probably mine. The one
Okay.
Jamie got?
Let's go back. In '94, I left CSX, which had just bought Riff,
Okay.
And
was
I
that
left
Great America?
Greater Media.
No, Great. Was it
Great America was Riff prior.
prior?
Yeah.
And then Greater Media. Okay.
Yeah. So I went to the Fan, and I got there, and it was like, I'm like, the people here don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
This is going to be a disaster. And I'm like, I got to get my escape hatch going because I don't know that this is ever going to work. So Ralph, who was running CSX,
Yep. I know Ralph.
I called Ralph and said, I want to come back. He goes, we filled your job, but we have one open at Riff working with Drew and Mike.
Really?
And I came over and I interviewed with Podell.
Yeah.
And I don't remember why I didn't get it. It doesn't
What
matter.
year is this?
94, 95?
Okay. See, I interned with them September of 95 and then for 9 months.
And then did you get hired full time after that?
I got hired in full-time in Lansing to do a show there and then went to Kalamazoo. I was gone for about a year.
Somebody leave?
Rob Schaefer.
When Schaefer left, I
Well-
interviewed for his job.
Okay, that would make sense because Mark and I were really young then, and it was wild the way they did this.
But I think Mark got it.
Mark and I did, yeah.
Both?
So
Okay.
Mark and I were back there with Schaefer, and Podell called Mark and I each individually into his office, and we're like, out of the blue, he's like, I'm giving you guys a raise. And it was like 18 grand a year.
Mine
we're
was
just
16.
starting.
Well, I was
Yeah.
making 24 at the Fan.
Yeah, okay.
I was killing it, man. Kidding
Hell
me?
yeah, single, whatever. I was making like 12, and then Podell calls me in, bumps me up to 18, bumps Fellhauer up to 18.
You both go out and buy Maseratis?
Fuck yeah, hell yeah. Went car shopping that day. And it was like, this is the greatest day ever. In the middle of the week, all of a sudden out of nowhere, there was a reason because they were blowing Schaefer out. And so after they gave us both raises, they called Schaefer in and gave him the boot. And then Drew, I was young. I'd interned with him. He barely knew me. Mark was young, just out of U of M.
Yeah.
Drew barely knew him. And he's like, you fired my producer from behind my back and you left
for
me
two
with these two kids?
newbies.
Holy shit. What are you thinking? And Podell's like, Rob could be kind of a loose cannon.
good.
I think Rob at one point when we were doing the Lions tailgates and he got hammered and chucked a beer bottle off one of the cherry pickers and hit someone in a wheelchair.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like, okay, this guy's got to go. But
I think I interviewed before you guys got hired, and I don't know. Podell said something about that I didn't really want to be a producer. I wanted to be on air, and I'm like, no, I just really want to work because I thought the Fan was going to collapse.
Yeah. Yeah.
early on.
Well, they were worried that Rob was going to go get a morning show gig somewhere and then take Mark and I. So that's why they bumped us up and then terminated him. And it was like, holy shit.
Did he end
you
up
know?
anywhere?
He did. He was in Indiana for a little while doing some morning show there.
Okay.
But I think he's down in Florida now, and I have no idea what he's doing.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So it's crazy. But
It is.
So do you like being on air or programming more?
It's interesting. It's complicated. I like being on air doing sports in Detroit or
Okay.
Michigan. Those are where my passions are, sports-wise.
Yeah.
I like being on the air in Virginia because it's a big, badass political talk station, which is my other hobby.
Yep.
I love politics, so I love doing that. But I also love molding the sound, hiring and finding talent, coaching talent. I mean, I got the perfect job.
Yeah.
Everything I like to do, I can do every day.
How did you even learn how to do that?
Do
'Cause,
what?
I mean, go from being an intern in '94 at CSX, or not an intern, but
88.
88, and then running big stations in a big major market. Detroit was a top 6 market then.
And I was in Dallas. And
I mean, where do you even learn
Philly.
that skill? Like I learned on the go as producing, and you just kind of learned as you went. But
Okay.
I would have no idea where to begin, like hiring talent.
It was a lot of different people. Like the guy who taught me about radio interactions with talent was Mark Passman.
okay.
And do you know him, the Pass?
Pass.
He hired me. My first PD hired me as a morning show producer. And then I worked with two guys named Chapin and McBean who were very creative. And we had
I loved Chapin and
blast.
McBean.
Oh my God, were they funny.
Yeah.
I talked to Chapin to this day. He's a voiceover guy all over America.
Really?
You know, Inside Edition tonight or Fox News. That's
Really?
him. Yeah, here in Detroit.
No kidding.
Yep. And so, and McBean, and they opened my eyes to the wonderful world of creativity.
Yeah.
And it was, we can do that? Like, we used to do stuff like Spike Lee Weather, and it was me voicing it. And they brought me in and let me do stuff, you know? And we did some really creative stuff. So I stayed with them. They got blown out, and we brought in JJ and the crew.
Yeah.
Same thing. I watched George write, and I was like, look at this guy. It just flows.
Yeah.
George could really write, and JJ was a great dude, and he taught me a lot. But then that
Who
was
was
all
the third guy on that show? Why am I gapping?
JJ and the crew?
Yeah.
With CSX, it was just the two of them. I don't know. They might have had someone else at Wheel.
Yeah, they did.
Tevis?
No. Shit. I should know because he was a really good guy too.
Oh, was he the voice guy?
Maybe. I don't know. You know, I was doing a morning show next
Yeah.
door, so I didn't listen to them.
I
a
was
lot,
already
but-
gone. So
Okay.
was the third guy, was the older guy with bald? Bob
No.
Koski?
No.
Okay.
No. It doesn't matter.
Anyway, so I learned about creativity from those guys. And then when I went to the Fan, I met this crazy woman. She was running the Fan. Her name was Lorna Gladstone. And she was really hard to work for.
Yeah.
But we loved each other. And to this day, we're great friends. She taught me how to coach and interact with talent and how to treat talent. And
Is there a special?
you know how
Egos
you have,
are involved.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
got you got to know when to be rough with them and say enough. You know
Yeah.
that's not working. You got to do it this way. The smart ones will listen. And over years, you cultivate that. Like, I mean, I had Kirk Gibson working for me.
Yeah.
And Gibby, I could bring him in and sit down and we could talk like men. He didn't care. He didn't take
Yeah.
offense.
Yeah.
His partner, Gary Danielson,
Yeah.
Gary had to be a little more kid glove because
Really?
he always felt like I think he was in Gibby's shadow because Gibby is a icon.
Yeah.
And Gary, for all his good years with the Lions, wasn't. You know, Gary was a solid quarterback.
So is this before his broadcasting career? Because he had a really successful
he did-
CBS
yes.
broadcasting career.
It was at the same. Well, he went on to that after. He was afternoons on XYT when I was the PD there.
Okay.
And I had Gibby at 11:30 as well. He used to do commentaries with us and come on in the Stoney and Wojo's show. And like I had Bill Lambier at CSX, who I had to work with every day, and I loved him.
Yeah.
Everyone hated him, and I'm like, no, that guy's great.
Really?
But he was rough.
Yeah.
You got to learn.
So did you pair them then, like
Who-
Danielson?
No. I had Gary, or I had Eli. Eli paired them together, Eli Zarrett. They all
Okay.
came together. I had Gibby at 11:30, the Fan. And then he went to do a show with Gary Danielson and Eli at XYT because I couldn't get the deal done. I couldn't pay him. Because
Yeah.
I had Stoney and Wojo's contracts. I had me and Jamie, and we had a couple other guys, midday guys. We didn't have any money for Kirk Gibson.
Yeah.
And they were able to do like a rev share with XYT where Eli could sell stuff and that kind of thing. I don't know all the specifics, but It's all experience over years. It's checking your ego. It's knowing when to have an ego. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, the talent I work with in Richmond are so easy. They're just rock stars. They do their thing every day.
Yeah.
We have a group text where all we do is bitch about politics, and
It's fun, isn't it?
it is. It's a great deal.
Yeah, especially when you some of these guys make it so easy. President Soup, as I call him. I don't refer to him as Biden because I'm under the impression that you could have run a bowl of soup against Trump, and a bowl of soup would have gotten 81 million votes.
I was listening to Clay Travis on the way in, and he made a great point. Last night, I don't know if you saw what the hell that
Yeah,
was
I
last
saw
night.
clips
What
of it.
kind of dystopian shit is that?
Yeah.
So last night, he was talking, he was ripping the MAGA and all that stuff. And so I listened to Clay, and he was saying Biden wants everyone to believe he's Abraham Lincoln and FDR. Abraham before this Civil War he keeps pushing.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he's doing that. And FDR before World War II. When really he's Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter
He's
only,
worse.
and really only Jimmy Carter only won because of Watergate.
Yeah.
Biden only won because of COVID.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. He was heading to a 10-point loss,
Yeah.
before COVID. So to see him up there last night in this, I don't like the H word. I don't like talking Hitler because there's no comparison to Hitler.
Right.
But it looked like Dear Leader.
God.
It did.
With
Visually.
the
red
lighting, that's going to be in
Marine
every Republican ad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In this fall. I mean,
weird.
It was real. I just don't know who tells him that's a good idea.
I have no idea. I can't make any sense of it. And I know people will bitch about Trump and be like, oh, he
Sure.
was just as divisive.
He was.
I understand that. I get
Right.
that. But one of his quotes last night,
boy.
MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. Together we can choose a different path. I mean, Ben Shapiro said it's the most demagogic, outrageous, and divisive speech I've ever heard from an American president.
And it's everything he's doing.
Right.
Right.
Let me tell you, as a Republican, I'm happy. I
Yeah.
am prosperous.
Yep.
I'm extremely positive about the future once he's gone.
Yeah.
And in the midterms when we get the House back. None of this holds true.
Yeah.
And my wife is a traditional Democrat. She doesn't believe any of that.
No.
My wife said to me the other day when we were talking about some things that might be going down, she goes, we're doing pretty good. I'm like, well, we're not because I want to do better. But yeah, we are. She's got a great job. I got a great job. But I just want it to be more. And so she's thrilled with where she is, right?
Right.
And
What
I'm
does
like,
she do?
She's a teacher.
Okay.
But she just transferred from a tough school to a great school.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm in heaven." And she liked her old job too, but some of those kids over there have it rough. Some live in hotels and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So she's thrilled. I'm good. I got to jump in the car and come to Michigan today for a football game tomorrow and do the show with you.
Yeah.
I get to work from home as much as I want. I don't know.
great?
I don't know what there is to bitch about it. I've never been a big bitch though.
Yeah.
Like stuff. I'll leave if I don't like something. It's no big deal to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. People who talk like Biden, who's he talking to?
I can't figure that out. Honestly, I can't. And it's mind blowing to me. I would often ask friends that were just so anti-Trump,
It's okay to be anti-Trump's personality.
Of course.
Even I grew tired of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
It's like sometimes I'm like, you make everything harder on us.
Sure.
Yeah.
We try to keep you in office. We try to get Republicans in office to help, and you just make it too hard. You piss off too many people. If you could shut up
Yeah.
and only fight the big fight,
Yep.
you could be another.
I think we all agreed with that.
Oh,
Troy
yeah.
and I used to talk about it
It's
all
just
the
like,
time.
Shut up,
But
man.
I would ask my liberal friends, I'd be like, okay, I understand where you stand on Trump.
Right.
Tell me how your life has changed with him in office. Okay? Tell me where it is that
$2 a gallon gas.
right, where you're like, I understand you hate the guy, I get it.
Right.
But I can point to myriad things right now where it's like, oh God, the border's a shit show. That Afghan withdrawal, people don't want to hear it.
No. Inflation.
Nightmare, inflation, gas prices. We didn't have power for 4 days. What do we spend $150 on gas just
Yeah.
filling the generator
Yep.
for three days?
About
That's
50 bucks a
insane.
day.
It's insane. It's cost me $40 to fill up 2 5-gallon jugs.
Well, but then he's out there saying, "Well, gas prices are down." I'm like, no, they're still up a buck
not how
50.
that works,
Right?
dude.
You don't get to just redefine what a recession is, or or gas. And I'm just trying. I believe that what I believe is what's best for the country, like everyone does.
Yeah.
So, I believe that low energy prices. I believe that kids getting proper education. I believe, that if you have a penis, you're a male. If you have a
How
vagina,
dare you.
you're a woman.
Yeah.
You can be gay, but you can't be a woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can be
Right.
whatever sex you are. That doesn't define you as a
Leave
person.
me out of it.
Right. I don't really care, but I don't have to buy into it, and I don't have to call you by pronouns.
No.
If you're a dude, I'm going to call you he. If you're a girl, I'm going to call you she. I'm not calling a girl he.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
happening in my world.
We're seeing it. I've got a story today about a Kansas teacher. She was suspended for refusing to play the pronoun game with students.
She should sue.
She did, and she won $95,000.
Good. She should win
in a
more.
settlement.
Yep.
She should win more because they took her career.
Yeah, and I guarantee they smeared her.
Yeah.
I promise you, her reputation in town is, they're going to do everything they can to destroy it.
Well, it's funny because I have a family member who claims he's transgender. He's young. He's
How young?
early 20s.
Okay.
And I told a woman, I said, I have a family member who says they're transgender, and I just don't believe. She goes, "Oh, that's disgusting." I said, "You can call me whatever names you want. That doesn't scare me. You
Yeah.
can call me anything you want. I don't believe that a guy can be a girl or a girl can be a guy. Now, if he's got a different sexuality, that's a whole different story.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'm not. And if you want to say you're a she, that's fine. I'm not playing that game.
Right.
Don't drag me into it.
Yeah.
So if your name is Bob, I'm calling you Bob. Don't ask me to call you Trudy or
Yeah.
I don't mean to use that name, but don't ask me to call you by
Sally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not,
yeah.
I'm not calling you.
Yeah.
It's not happening. And you're right though. They're trying to make you submit.
Yeah.
And I'm just not doing
Compliance.
that. Yeah.
I'm not either. It feels like there's a handful of us that are pushing back on it, and it comes at great risk of losing everything.
Right.
They'll shut your ass down for that stuff, and we see it every day.
The silent majority.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting because the media is really trying to set up this fall as a close election. I'm not buying that.
I just don't see it.
I'm not buying that.
How much
Not
you
after the
think-
last 2 years.
Yeah.
How much you think Roe versus Wade affects it?
Well, the
I think
polling-
before that, it was not even close.
But the polling says not much.
It does.
Every time I see the polls, I forward them to my this woman I went to high school with.
Yeah.
She's one of us, right? She's a conservative. Her boys are conservative. Shapiro. She lives in Alabama, and she was all freaked out about the Roe thing. And so every time I see a poll, I forward to say Roe doesn't poll. Roe doesn't poll. That is an extremist issue.
yeah.
On both sides, the Christian conservative nuts that say, every life, no matter rape, whatever.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
most people are moderate. They'll say, I'm not for killing babies after they're 3 months old. That's not happening.
Yeah.
And then there's the others who say, kill them before 2 days before birth. I mean,
Yeah.
that to me is just
Murder.
rancid. I don't
Yeah.
know why anyone would
And was to
advocate for that.
It was to the whole country 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A year ago. You know what I mean? Like that.
When they legalized late-term abortion in New York, and everyone in the New York House stood up and cheered,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
when it turned
tells
it
you
for
everything you
me.
need to
I was
know.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
It should be a somber event, not something to
Right.
celebrate.
Yes.
It should be rare. It should be safe. And instead, I have
I mean, that
a
was
view.
Biden's position.
Yeah.
10
years ago.
10 years ago.
My view is I believe abortion is outdated. I don't think we need it anymore. We have the morning after pill. You can terminate a pregnancy within days.
Yeah.
If you believe you're pregnant, and I think that the technology and things like that make it so we don't need to be using vacuums anymore. I mean, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
I mean, this is someday we're going to look back.
Most of them are medicinal now, anyway.
Yeah.
They don't do that much. Those still exist, but that's the.
But what about the ones
minority of
where they leave the head in the womb, stab it in the back of the head with
Yeah.
scissors?
them. That's
They do those too, which
Oh,
is disgusting.
those videos are hard to find on YouTube. You can find them.
Yeah.
Like they're all animation.
Yeah.
And they're hideous.
Oh, yeah.
To look at the process.
Look at Kermit Gosnell, that guy in Houston who was, selling off body parts of aborted fetuses. It's like anything else. It's going to go bad
Yeah.
if you allow it. And, and it's not a choice issue for women. You have the same choices you ever had. It's not constitutional, so it's a states' rights issue. And, if you want to change the Constitution, I explained this to my mother-in-law, there's a process for that. Mm-hmm. You got to go get 3/4 of the states to vote to outlaw abortion nationally, and you can put it in the Constitution.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's 50-50. There's a lot of people don't mind abortion if it's rare.
Right.
If it's done in the case where the child's not going to be viable, the mother's going to be sick, rape. Mm-hmm. No one's going to argue with that.
No.
But using it as birth control, these women who wear shirts that say, I've had 33 abortions,
Yeah.
Go to hell. You're a pig.
I swear to God, the activism is so loud.
The zeal.
It's
to kill.
It's like a cult.
Yeah.
I swear to God, and I was talking to Troy about this a few weeks ago. I'm like, I'm convinced there's going to be one of these activists that gets knocked up, takes that thing to 8.5 months, and then aborts it just to be able to say she did it.
Oh, I agree.
To freak people out.
Here's the thing, too. You can do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do with your body. I'm telling you what the Constitution says.
Yeah.
And if you, if you want to get abortions, go ahead. But I'm not going to hang out with a pig like that. If you're going to use that as contraception, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And I would never pretend to tell you what to do with your body, but I want to know what you think before I lie with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to know what you're going to do. Like I knew my wife was pro-choice, but I also knew she would never abort a child.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
She was like, I would raise any child unless I was raped. No one wants a rapist baby.
Rape,
in them, trust
incest.
me.
Yeah.
Right.
I totally get that. I think it's going to hurt Tudor
But that's
Dixon.
a crime.
Yeah. Right.
If somebody is raped or incest, then someone's got to go to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we'll abort it.
Yeah.
And I still feel bad for the baby because he was, conceived out of a rape or an incest. But you
How
can't.
horrible would that be?
But you can't ask a woman to carry a rapist child.
or a 14-year-old girl
Yeah.
who's raped by an uncle
You
or something.
can't.
Nah, I don't think you can. I think it's going to hurt Tudor Dixon.
What's she doing on it? She's hot.
She is, but they're playing ads ad nauseum around here, obviously.
Because she wants it outlawed?
This election goes to a bikini competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
But because Whitmer's kind of a cow.
Yeah, well, she can wear one piece. That's okay.
You know what, though? This dumb state will reelect her. She's
I
going to
know.
win.
Yeah,
Probably.
she's going to win. Stretch and go.
After all she did,
Yeah.
after how she treated you,
Yeah.
after the way she looked at you and said, let them eat cake,
Yeah.
you're going to reelect her. I'll never understand the people of this state.
I know. Well, Tudor Dixon, they're running these ads literally in every commercial break you see on
What did
TV.
she say?
No exceptions.
No exceptions. And they're like, well, what about for rape and incest? And she's like, no exceptions. And they're just running
She
it
a
around
Jesus
the
her?
clip. She must be.
She's got to be.
Gotta be.
But then
to have
again, how is
attitude.
that any different than no exceptions for abortion?
That's what her position is.
No. The other side says no exceptions. You can have it right up to the day that thing's born.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Biden said that.
Yeah.
Joe Biden said no exceptions.
Yeah.
If someone wants an abortion
Such
at
a clown.
8.5 months, go for it.
Yeah.
He said that. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
They're just going to, it's just because women are so easy politically. They're all on emotion. It's all emotion. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, my lady friends, but
Yeah.
too many of you are emotional wrecks.
Yeah.
And you believe we're here to take your rights and that the man is trying to keep you down. And that's just couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
It couldn't be further.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's scary,
It's
man.
like they want to hate men for no reason.
Oh, my sister-in-law.
Really? Just hates men?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And she's got an abuse background,
Yeah.
that she comes from. And, I get that, but every guy in her life now is a fucking absolute saint to her. And she can't
Still
help
not
it.
good enough.
Wait.
Not good enough.
Really?
Yeah.
You're still the devil.
it's-
Just deep
Yep.
down.
It's
White men in particular.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of
The
course.
worst.
Of course. The worst people on planet Earth.
Really?
Yeah. Speaking of emotional women,
Well, while we're talking about women, it's funny. I believe women have been conditioned terribly in this society to think that being a loud, obnoxious pig makes them a strong woman.
Yeah.
Like my wife's a strong woman, but she's not going to get in your face and wag her finger and
Yeah.
move her head. But she knows what she wants.
but
She knows what
those
she-
women are getting cheered on.
Yeah.
It's just making it more elevated and worse.
Well, I was going to. We were talking about this video.
Yeah.
Where this cop was arresting a suspected
Murderer.
a murder suspect, right? and he's not even fighting.
Yeah.
You know, they got him in cuffs and they're walking him away. Can you play this?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
of course.
Oh,
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
Play this and then we'll comment because this is I find what happened here.
This is today's fuck around and find out story.
Okay.
Today's
We've got a
edition of
segment.
Fuck around and find out.
Here comes tough woman.
Yeah. Push slaps a cop
Yeah.
and cop. Bam.
Oh, down she goes.
Down
right?
goes Frazier.
And then it's always like, oh, you hit me. Like,
What's wrong with you, bro?
Well, here's. Woo, bro.
you wildin'.
Why would you do that? And then he arrests her. I love
Yeah.
it.
All right, assaulting a police officer.
Stands her up and puts her in cuffs.
Thank
I got
God.
It's just great technique too.
Oh,
Just reaction.
and he's like 300 pounds.
slap, slap.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she thinks,
Pop.
yeah.
Boom.
Good night.
Oh.
Night night.
Have a seat.
Have a
Hope,
nice
hope
sleep.
it was worth it, idiot.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what I mean about the way women are conditioned. We've conditioned them to think there's no ramification for your big mouth or swinging at somebody.
Right.
Instead of, you know, they want to enter a man's world, but they don't want man consequences. Because if I'd have done the same thing, I'd have gotten worse.
Yeah,
I might have got
way
a billy
worse.
club
Oh, yeah.
by 4 or 5 different cops, maybe a tase,
Yep.
and who knows, maybe even shot.
Yeah.
She got knocked out, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that, but honey,
Yeah.
this stuff is for the courtrooms. Keep your damn hands off police officers.
Yeah.
What is
Can't-
wrong with you?
You cannot get into it, especially when you've got a chaotic scene like that.
Right.
Where people are just like.
Cops are
think about-
scared.
Think about what you said to start this discussion. They were going after a suspected murderer.
Right.
And he's playing ball, and then you've got this rowdy crowd shouting down the cops.
Yeah.
Like we know all the facts, and you guys are wrong.
Right.
And then this idiot comes waltzing up out of nowhere and starts hitting on a cop. Thank God he was a black cop.
Well,
who
did you
smacked
hear-
the shit out of her.
Did you hear Mayor Adams?
No, what did this idiot say now?
He said that cop showed tremendous restraint.
Really?
Just
Good.
hitting her once.
You know what it would have been if it'd been a white,
White
cop.
cop.
It would,
Oh.
he'd be in jail.
Yeah, Ben
There'd be
Crump would
civil
be
rights charges. Sharpton would be in town.
Yep. Crump would be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I agree. I think the cop did show restraint. He smacked her out of genuine concern for his own safety.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, there's a mob of people standing around, and this girl walks right up.
Yeah.
You saw it right there if you're watching on live stream. She walked right up and hit him twice.
Yep.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah.
At that point, everything is so upside down. But immediately the activists were tweeting, well, this cop needs to be fired immediately. Like, no, he doesn't.
Why?
Yeah, that girl needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
You-
It's assault on a police officer.
everything is upside down.
Yeah.
Like, police officers, it used to be you did what you're told. Now every jackhole on TikTok is videotaping. Going, I don't have to give you my license. I don't have.
Yeah.
It's like just do what you're freaking told. So
You'd
society-
be amazed how it'll work out for you.
Yeah, and cops like it's funny because I was driving horrendously one day. I was weaving in and out of traffic. I had to get home. I was in a hurry. I had to get my kid to hockey tryouts, and I was late. I had the wrong time, and some cop pulled me over. He is unmarked and off duty, but he's like, this guy's driving like such an asshole. I got to pull him over.
Yeah.
So he pulled me over, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Dude, I'm in such a hurry. I know I'm not being safe. Here's my stuff. My kid's late for his tryout, and I got to get him there."
Yeah.
Guy goes back to his car. Within 1 minute, came back and said, "Dude, slow down and relax."
Yeah.
And then he left.
There's
Yeah.
no warrants as long
Right.
as there's nothing, you know.
He just said, I want to make sure,
So,
I'm going to check to make
you're
sure
not
you're
coming from an armed
Yeah,
robbery.
Are
or
you
something.
fleeing the scene? But it was like he was just cool, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really appreciate this, man. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I never.
How do you
get
think it
let
would have
off.
gone if you're like, I don't have to tell you shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
get my license.
Am I being detained?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
I had an incident twice, actually, right here on Franklin Road. And my girlfriend had been out of town for a few weeks. I hadn't seen her. She was gone for a few weeks. And so she lives right down the street at the time. And so I was kind of flying over there doing 45 into 25.
Yeah.
Cop pulls me over, and I pull over, and it was a female. She comes up. I roll down the window, and as she gets to me, I just said, "I'm such an asshole," and she busts out laughing.
right.
She goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, you know what? I haven't seen my girl in a few weeks.
Going to
and
get
I
some.
was just kind
Right. I'm
of
going to get laid.
kind of in a hurry. She's just like, just slow it down. 24 hours later, same thing happened. And
Is
it
it
was
her?
her again. Yeah, same cop.
There's
I was
only
like,
two of them.
I'm still an
in
asshole.
Franklin. Odds are pretty good you're going to get the same one.
But it was like, you know what? Treat them with respect.
Wait, did she give you the ticket the second
no,
time?
no, she didn't. She
So,
was like, all right.
third time in your out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what
I was like, I get it. I'm sorry. You know, they're usually very cool, especially around here.
Just don't be an asshole to these guys.
Yep.
Their jobs are
Respect
tough enough.
goes
They
a
don't
long
get.
way.
They're like teachers. They have shit jobs and they don't get paid enough.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And just treat them right, man. Unless they're assholes, and then you can be short with them. Like I've had guys who were jerks. Before,
Yeah,
and I'm just
100%.
Like, but I'm still like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to. It's in your best interest.
Right. Just
Whatever
get
you
it
got
over.
to do to get out of that moment,
And not end up in jail.
not end up in jail, and every interaction with the police is tense.
Right.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are.
They want to go home.
They want to go home, and I don't want a ticket. I don't want to have to appear in court.
Right.
And, blah, blah, blah. So it's in my best interest to make this go as smooth as possible,
Right.
not be a dick, not elevate the situation. It's like, but we all know that cop that's a jerk.
Oh, yeah.
There's always one. Some cops, and I knew one in Troy, and he needed that uniform to feel special.
Yeah, yeah.
And I knew it, and he was a musclehead, and
Yeah.
it's just who he was. It was his
Yeah.
identity.
But here's the thing, Greg. I know assholes in radio.
Right.
I know assholes
They
that are
can't shoot you.
teachers. Fair enough. But yeah, but I mean, it's not, it is what it is. Society's got assholes in every field,
Right.
and people that need to be taken down a notch. And there's no doubt that the power that comes with a badge and a gun makes some people think they're
Right.
and they have this power.
How many people have ever gotten shot while handing them their license and registration, though?
None. None.
Zero.
Yeah, exactly.
Historically.
That's generally not how it ever goes down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like the fuck around and find out moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw that this week too, and I'm like, and no lies were told here. This
Yeah.
girl was
Nope.
an idiot, and
Yep.
she got smacked, and it's too bad it came to that.
Yeah.
But
it didn't have to.
It didn't. She could have just stood there,
Yeah.
and if she knows that man, she could have gone to the police station and bailed him out.
Yep.
Or well, it doesn't sound like he's getting. Bailed.
Yeah, he probably won't get
But
bailed.
you don't walk up to a cop and do that. And I'm glad that guy did it. And I'm glad he was a black cop who hit a black girl. Right?
Yes.
Because now we don't
Yes.
have to have the whole, BLM
It's-
crap.
Whenever Troy and I are doing these stories, it's the first thing we look at. Like,
Yep.
what's the guy's name? And
Yep.
it's like, oh, he's clearly Mexican. That's
Yeah.
all right. We're good.
Good, we're good.
Wasn't a fucking white guy.
Right, because if a white guy does that, now it's a firestorm, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's just the world we live in right now.
Crazy.
Saw
And
another
it's
video
scary.
today that was some guy was breaking into a house. It's their Ring video.
Yeah. Oh, I
and the
saw it.
kid, you see, right? Kid's busting in the door,
And he won't leave.
And the second,
It's his ex-girlfriend.
is whatever. Oh yeah, I don't know the whole.
Yeah, he
and
was
even that
busting
doesn't
in
matter.
to the ex-girlfriend's home. The ex-girlfriend's terrified. You can hear her in the background.
Screaming. Yeah, he's busting the door, and boom, as the door opens, bang, bang, bang. He gets shot, two or three shots, whatever it was. I don't know.
From her?
Yeah,
Yeah, her dad.
Her dad.
Her dad. Oh, good boy.
Shoot,
Her dad.
right?
Good man.
As soon as the door flipped open, bang.
Yeah.
And he just
lean
goes
on the
over,
castle
walked
down.
around the
walked
front,
around the corner and kind
dropped.
of laid down on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and you just kind of hear him
Toes
dying.
up.
And
Dead.
but then you go to the comment section, and it's you did to shoot him. You shot a kid. After the first shot, that's murder and all this stuff. Like, no, dude, busting into my house. I'm not gonna wait
Yeah.
to find out what the
Castle
intentions
Doctrine, man.
were.
Hey, baby.
Oh, yeah.
She
There
just
she
came
is.
over.
Oh, yeah. She's on Greg.
Yeah, I know the comment sections are
It's
classic.
insane. Like, yeah, that should be the one place where that is absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
It's
the
insane.
guy's run, because that was it. Like by the second
He
shot was
wasn't
in
charged.
the back.
He wasn't charged.
No, I know
He
he
was
wasn't.
stand your ground.
That's
Yeah. Good.
no, but it's just
Good.
funny that people have that mentality.
Thin the herd, man. If you're that stupid,
amen.
if you're that fucking stupid,
Yeah.
that
You
you're going to
deserve
go
it.
try to attack your ex-girlfriend with her dad standing there who said, I have a gun, get out of here.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
told him he had a gun.
Yeah.
And the kid still pushed the door in
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
pop, 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 out.
Yeah. I mean, the saying is old and cliche, but, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Exactly
I mean,
right.
It is.
It stands
Fuck
true in
around
all
and
these.
find out.
Exactly. Exactly. Biden this week called anybody that literally voted for Trump a semi-fascist.
Why is everyone throwing around fascist? Do they
don't
even know what that means?
No, I don't think they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
It's like when we have an epidemic in this country of ignorance and there is no vaccination.
Nope.
Yeah.
There is not. There's
Yeah.
people who just don't know what they're talking about, who because of social media feel empowered to have a say. Like AOC should not have a voice.
No.
She is not nearly educated enough to be making policy.
Sandy?
Yeah, Sandy Cortez. But I think, but there's a lot of people like that. Like I have friends who have wild ass opinions, and then I say, well, do you know how that works? Well, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why don't you figure out how it works? Everyone had an opinion on Dobbs overturning Roe v. Wade, but nobody understood that it was a states' rights issue. It's not addressed in the Constitution.
Even that, they promoted it as that they've taken away your constitutional right to an abortion.
And
that's
it never
how
was.
it puts on.
And
Right,
it
it never was.
never was.
But
It never
that's-
was.
But that's what people hear, and that's what they think, and they're just sheep, and they can be told something, no matter how wrong it is, and just believe it.
Yeah.
It's remarkable how those stories go, and
the president just lies about it.
totally,
And then he accuses MAGA of lying.
Yeah. Well, or anybody that voted or thinks like MAGA, I don't even know what that means.
And of course
is a
they'll be
fascist. Like fascism, and this pisses me off because I'll show you an example of actual fascism, and nobody will care.
Go ahead.
Nobody will care. So Biden, the Biden administration wanted an Instagram account that was mocking Dr. Fauci. They wanted it taken down last year.
Yeah.
So that's the government working with a private company.
Can you define fascism?
Yeah, it's when the government gets involved with
Corporations.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the way they do this,
What
because
side is that tilted to right now?
right? So it's illegal. It's a First Amendment violation,
Right.
For the government to get involved in your freedom of speech. But if you find a loophole where you can still silence people that don't agree with you or that you don't like by pressuring corporations, that's actual fascism.
That's fascism, and
That's
that's what
the
they've
definition
done.
of it. Yes. So
Under
someone
the
puts
guise
up
of misinformation.
someone
they can
puts
use.
up a fucking fake account mocking Fauci. That happens to every public figure out there.
Right.
Right? Like, that's what you open yourself up to. If you're a public figure, some people are going to mock you. Some people are going to, look what they did to Trump. Look what
Right.
they do to Biden now. Who cares?
Right.
So they reached out to, last year, an official reached out to the parent company Meta and got action literally within seconds. July 20th, 21, revealing in a newly surfaced email exchange underscores the close communication between the White House and social media giants. Hi there. Any way we can get this pulled down?
That's
It is not
incredible.
actually one of ours, wrote Clark Humphrey, digital director for the Soup
Were
administration.
they saying that they were trying to make it seem like an official account? Is that what they were saying?
Who knows? It wasn't, but who cares anyways? He's got an official account.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who cares? It's the Babylon Bee.
Verify him, right?
Yeah. So this is what pissed me off so much. That email came on at 1:24 p.m. and the timestamp on the reply is 1:24:46. 46 seconds later. Yep, on it. That pisses me off more than any part of this story.
It's
Yep,
the worst.
on it.
It's the worst.
Yep, on it. Tells me.
I mean, you couldn't even read it, open it, read it, and type their response.
And
like
they blew the
literally
account
like
out.
it's like the hotline. Like immediately it comes in and just takes over your screen if it comes from the White House.
It's unbelievable.
Got it.
It's
And to me, yep, on it says everything you need to know, because that is someone so comfortable and in such steady communication with the White House that this is the drill. Yep, on it is your response.
But that's what I don't understand. How can he get up and call everyone else fascists when I've never seen more fascism?
Because that's what they wrote in his speech. Those were the words that were on the prompter.
And you know
That's how he
what's
said
the old adage? What they accuse you of, they're doing.
They're
Exactly
doing.
right.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe we're seeing here is they're fascists. They know it. Their dystopian view of America is really twisted, and they know it. But they want us to believe. I don't believe anything they say.
No.
But a lot of people do. Like if they say MAGA Republicans are extremists, we know MAGA people who will get down on themselves. But I'm like, fuck you. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I know what I think is best for this country. I've seen it.
Yep.
I think Trump's a pain in the ass, but what he did helped. It worked. It got us out of the Obama malaise.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I like to think I'm not too entrenched in my tent, but I do, and that I'll listen to other views. But when I see some of the stuff that these guys say,
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you
impossible.
even talking about here?
Yeah.
It's twisted stuff, man.
It is. It's the, I don't know how you feel about Section 230 or how much you know about it.
Which one is that?
Section 230 is the
Is that the Glenn Beck stuff that he talks about?
maybe
What is it?
It's the internet. It's the protection that differentiates platforms versus.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
mean so versus journalism and
Right.
whether you're a platform or a publisher.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what this sort of is this Section 230 abuse where these companies are on it.
They get protections because they
Right.
say we're not publishers and
platform.
editorializing. We're just the platform. We're just the
Yeah.
public square.
Yeah.
And that's got to be looked at. And I know that came up a lot in the election last time because they were clearly limiting conservative reach.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it goes from, we often say the road to hell is paved with great intentions.
Right.
You know, and,
well, it's always under protections.
right.
We're going to protect you.
Protect you, help you.
Yeah, we'll
thank
help.
you.
Let us
Yeah.
help you.
Yeah, sure. That one drives me out of my mind because if you look at the reason for Section 230, it sort of made sense.
Right.
When you're talking about originally in the early days of the internet, a lot of spam porn in the comment sections.
Right.
And it was like, how do we clean this up? We don't want to make
But who
judgments
cares?
about the
I don't-
spam porn.
I don't care about any of that.
Well, if you could see the argument if it's like, well, kids are on this site and someone spam bots a bunch of porn on an ESPN site.
So is that going to kill a kid?
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at Playboy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I believe we do. I'm a libertarian by trade, and I believe most of the things we do to protect are really just pussifying these kids.
Yeah.
You know,
And an overreach.
My older brother showed me, Playboy. I saw Penthouse. I saw
Yeah.
We. I saw
Hell
all
yeah.
of them. And it's not like I grew up to be some freaking
We. That was a good
deviant.
one.
Oh, yeah. I used to call it OUI as a kid because I didn't know. I'm like, what's
Yeah.
We? What's OUI? But it was like I had older brothers. I don't think I turned out to be some kind of fucking deviant just
No.
because, it probably wasn't appropriate. I think my old man had smokers in the house.
Yeah.
Those 8mm smokers they had back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know that.
whatever.
I got busted looking at Playboy. I was probably 12, and my dad had a stack of them down in the basement in one of the closets.
Yeah, every
And me
dad
and my
had
buddy
'em.
found it, and then my mom came downstairs, and we're just like looking at this magazine
with
and it's-
boners.
Yeah, probably. And she's like, "You go home. You go to your room." I'm like, "What the fuck did I do?"
Right.
I didn't have the capacity to argue like, "Hey, your fucking husband's magazines
Yeah,
are what
they're
I
your-
stumbled onto."
Right.
Can't expect me not to look at them.
Dad's down here flogging the porpoise every Saturday night with a beer in one hand and his cack in the other.
What are you coming down on me for?
I'm 12, Mom. What the hell?
Taking it out on you.
But I mean, it's like,
I know they're your dad's. God damn it.
but I'll tell you how we've regressed. Okay, so like I got a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Never kissed a girl. He's not a nerd. He's just
They're
mean,
so
shy.
introverted these days.
mean-
They just are. They've taken all social capabilities away from people.
we were dating chicks and getting laid at that age. I mean, it was on at 19, right?
Oh, dude.
They don't even care.
We didn't have an option, but except for face to face. That
Well,
was
yeah.
the only thing we had. We didn't have all the virtual and the video.
No,
and,
no.
And
You had to
you
have
wanted
a little
talk to
game.
somebody.
You had to actually physically
yeah.
start something with a girl, and we got really good at it.
Here's the greatest thing. My 19-year-old has hair out to here, and it looks like
Excellent.
hell.
What, like an afro, like?
Yeah, I had it in like when I was 18, and then it left. But he has an afro, and I'm constantly begging him to cut it. Right? And he says to me, "The girls like it," and I'm said, "Oh, really?" I said, "They don't get an opinion unless they're tugging on it."
Yeah.
Right?
You know what I mean? I don't give a
Amen.
shit what some girl in
Damn
Canada
right.
says looks good.
Yeah.
Cut your damn hair.
Where does the afro come from?
I had a huge afro.
Really?
When I cut it, but I had a big helmet, hair helmet.
Yeah.
In high school, but on my mom's side, it falls out. On their mom's side, it doesn't fall out. So they got both of them curly,
Really?
tall hair. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
If you looked at my Facebook page the other day, you'd see one of them.
Is there an old picture on there?
It's one side by side between me and him.
Oh, no kidding.
Because
Oh,
somebody
when you had an afro?
Yes. Well, I had my cut because I was at my graduation with my suit on.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'd had my hair cut. But I tell my son, they don't get opinions
Nope.
if they ain't tugging on it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to
Yeah.
hear it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We've only got a couple minutes left.
Did we get to everything?
No,
Never
shit,
do.
No, we never do. I have so much. I wanted to ask your opinion. We haven't talked any sports,
Right.
really. You're going to the Michigan game tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Do you feel there's anything behind this Tom Brady 11-day absence story?
Yes.
What's going on there?
I believe he told Giselle he was done and then reneged on the promise.
Yes.
And I think she's pissed. Mm-hmm. And I think he's saying it's one more year.
Yeah.
I can still play. It's one more year. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately she'll come back. But yeah, I do. I believe it.
Yeah. Sounds like that. Those are the reports that are trickling out. From
He should leave her
sources.
anyway. She's
Yeah.
old. Upgrade.
Yeah, upgrade time.
Well, I mean, I thought he downgraded when he left Bridget Moynihan. That's more my speed.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
love her. Giselle's got a great body. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But I don't find her to be knocked down,
No.
make me horny gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I loved Bridget Moynihan. Show
that
it? Yeah, look at that. Look at that on the left. Look at those beady eyes.
Trying to get
Oh,
the-
yeah.
See,
Where the hell?
what you
It's
couldn't
too
see is I was losing that helmet in the back.
Oh, really?
It balded back here first.
Yeah.
Coop's
Oh, my
got-
God. I can't even tell
There
it's
we
you.
go.
Coop's got every hair that he was born with.
And he's going to keep it?
Yeah, he'll have it.
Yeah.
He'll be one of those guys who, when he's 60, you'll notice it. He'll start
Yeah.
to bald.
I think I'm hanging on
great.
pretty well.
Yeah, you guys are doing good, both
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, I've got really fine hair.
My wife
very
has it.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I'll tell you, I wouldn't take hair if you'd give it to me now.
Really?
Well, I'm lucky. Two things. One, I have a round head, which makes it kind of okay.
Sure.
And number two, I just don't want the hassle.
Yeah.
I
get it.
shave it. I shave it. I don't care. I'm not chasing chicks. I'm 50.
Yeah.
I don't
Is
care.
it hard to do the back? I always wonder.
My
how
wife
is.
does it.
Okay.
Should have
Yeah.
say sit down.
Yeah.
Done.
Easy.
But because I'm always like, I don't know. I said I think I'd miss spots. And I go to school,
Yeah.
I go to work
Yeah.
with a big patch of clumpy hair in the back.
Grow a
but-
tail.
Yeah, right. I told her, I said, you keep it up, woman. I'm going to grow a skullet, and we're going to dinner.
Nice.
There you go.
I was telling her I'm going to grow my skullet out. She's like, you won't. I'll shave it in your sleep.
Give me your opinion, lastly, on the Lions. I texted you.
Why don't
the
you
other
give me
day.
your opinion
I
on the
will.
Lions?
I texted you. and I
Greg, they're
said,
really going to be good. I'm buying into Dan Campbell, man.
when they got down early in that game, I think I texted you around halftime. I was like, "Fuck this!"
I feel
team.
like an
They-
idiot.
I feel like an asshole. God, am I an idiot? I fell for it again. Clearly they're not going to be that great.
They don't have talent. Here's the thing. I hope Dan Campbell wins. I think it'd be great. He's got a great personality.
Yeah.
But he has no talent, and he's not a superior coach.
Yeah.
So this is a process, man. I still think the over-under's 5, and I'm going
Really?
under. I do.
See, it sounds like their
take the
offensive
over.
line is going to be pretty good, right? Isn't that what they've
you
been
watch them
building
against
for?
the Steelers?
No, yes, but did everyone play?
Yeah. Decker
Yeah.
was it? Penel.
Penny Sewell?
Sewell might not have played. Penis Sewer?
Penis Sewer, that's what I call it.
Ragnow played.
Yeah.
Decker played.
Yeah.
The fat guy played, what's his name? The guard. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I hope they're good. How can you have 3 first-round draft picks on a line and not have the best line in the league?
You'd better be.
Yeah,
And a second-rounder, right?
probably.
I don't know specifically anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I got a couple emails
Oh.
I wanted to go through.
People got full buy-in, though, man. Full buy-in on Dan Campbell.
You
and the
knew it
Lions.
was going to happen.
It happens every
because
time.
of propaganda.
These Wayne Fonts with muscles.
Right. This is no different than the end of year Sports Illustrated videos you could get where they
Right.
your team's 2-14,
Right.
but they make it look like you
Yeah.
almost made the
But
Super Bowl.
a season of transition.
Exactly. So it's nothing different than
Right.
that. It's the same kind of thing. But I see the players buying in, the town. I took
Players who
issue-
won't be here in 3 years buying in, by the way.
Right. Okay. So we got an email here. Subject: Greg.
Oh, Christ.
3Gs.
That never changes.
Love the show with Greg. You guys just sound natural, like you've been friends for years. His audio sucked. It was okay when listening
Was
on
it?
the iPhone, but in the
there
car,
were some issues with that.
couldn't hear me at
Alright.
all. Bitching about my freeze with. I know he's a broadcaster. He should know to be on a mic. He was on mic. I don't know if you noticed this when we went last week.
Mm-hmm.
These guys all went apeshit. Troy, Eric, Trav. They're
I
like
saw him running over to the board.
Trying to figure
running over
stuff
the
out
board.
behind.
It was fine.
I thought I was too hot.
No. The audio was perfect.
Oh.
You
And
were,
when I
well,
aired it-
you were high, he was low.
Okay.
Is how it was coming across.
I'm trying to talk to you. It's like having a
I saw
director
him.
in your fucking ear. And so I potted you way down. That's what these people are talking about. So it had nothing to do with you.
Because I did have a mic in front of me. You couldn't see it.
Yeah. No, you were fine.
I need one of these Shures, though.
yeah,
gotta
they're
get
great.
one, yeah.
They're great.
I have a snowball one that my kid got me.
Oh, yeah.
Just sits on my desk.
Yeah, easy.
I don't have a
That-
studio.
see that right there?
Yeah.
That's Mike Clark's mic.
Oh, I love it.
That's
Butt mic.
all
You gotta
the
get
butt
that
mics,
bronzed.
Right? Yeah.
You should.
That's the EV that he used for 20 fucking years.
It's got butt stains on it, too.
Oh yeah,
You can see
and
right
smoke and shit. Like yeah, it's crazy. Anyway,
there. When you could smoke in the studio.
yeah, even when we couldn't, what were they going to do?
Right.
Fire
right.
the biggest
You got-
morning show. In
Get
the
out of
state?
here.
I like how you guys got into a little behind the scenes stuff about Drewcast and after. I bet other listeners like that too. I was a huge fan of Greg and Michelle, and it might be fun to get a little bit of that too. Are they still friends? Do they enjoy middays? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, we
Cheers, Mark.
We still talk every day.
Yeah.
She called me last night when I was driving up.
Really?
Yeah. So we still do a podcast. You can find that. It's Greg and Michelle on the Apple iTunes. We haven't done one in a while though.
Yeah.
She just.
How do you like doing a show with a chick versus like guys throwing the ball around?
But she's a dude.
Yeah.
Like
and you guys are really popular.
when I worked with her, she's the only woman, and Michelle's an attractive woman. She really is. I mean, a little thick for me, but she's, you know. But I'll never forget the first week we were on the air,
Yeah.
I called her thick. And she didn't get mad, and I knew it was going to work.
Yeah.
You know, because Michelle's not the type of girl where you have to say, "Oh, you're so pretty," all the time. She'd be like, now she'll pull up her shirt and go, "I'm fat again," you know, or whatever. She's just a totally cool.
It
chick.
is what it is.
I loved her. As much as I like working with Jamie, I liked working with her more because he got his feelings hurt sometimes.
Yeah.
Because he's a reserved guy.
Yeah.
You know, Michelle, you can't hurt her feelings.
That's
She can't-
awesome.
yeah.
Trudy was kind of like that.
Was she?
Yeah. You could, you know.
You could bust balls.
Yes. And she was in especially at the time, such a male dominated field.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, and those shows were so rowdy and so rough that, you know, she either got thrown to the fucking wolves or played ball.
Yeah.
And she was good at hanging. She could hang. And
She was so smooth on the air.
oh my God. Best
Sexy
laugh.
smooth. Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Great voice.
But I'm telling you, Michelle is one of the most talented people I've ever worked with.
Really?
And we're to this day, we would love to work together again.
That's great.
You know, but it's just a matter of finding the right place and time, and we're not getting any younger, so we'll probably end up dying.
Yeah.
But you never know.
We'll see. 3G podcast. Hey, Mike, great first show with Greg. You guys banter well. I don't know if my blood pressure can handle getting that pissed each week, but we're going to find out.
Liberal
No. Well, maybe.
or Lion fan?
Lion fan.
Oh, okay.
Maybe both.
One minor
Hey,
complaint.
Let me just say this.
Okay.
I'm a Lion fan. It's my team.
Yeah.
I'm just pissed.
Yeah.
It's been too long. It's been too many fuck ups, too many idiots.
Yep.
I'm just pissed. I'm not out cheering for other NFL teams.
No.
If the Lions suck, I'm just not watching any football.
Yeah.
You know, I'll have
And
it
you're
on
gonna
the back.
say it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
One minor complaint coming from the biggest Lion slappy possibly ever. For years, I listened to Greg complain about the culture of the Lions. Now that they seem to be changing, or at least trying to change their culture, change their culture. He says culture doesn't matter. I don't know, man. At least they're trying.
Who's that? Who is that?
Connor.
Connor. If you know me and you listen to me like you say you did, and thank you, that's cool of you to say. I think culture is the biggest bullshit cliche in sports. I don't buy culture. Culture can't be established until you win. Everyone wanted to say Juwan Howard had established this culture after 1 year, and then what happened in year 2? Well, where was the fucking culture?
Yeah.
Culture is something that happens over time. You don't walk in and say, culture, here's our culture.
Yeah.
It's grown organically. And you have guys here now, of course they're buying into the culture. They want jobs.
Yeah.
You know, but when your team is good and you have great players who don't need the job, they can go anywhere, that still want to live by that culture. Because here's what's going to happen.
You don't believe in
Mark.
the culture of losing?
I believe the culture of losing is cultivated over time, which the Lions have done.
They've done great with that.
Yeah, but here's what happens. Here's what's going to happen, and mark my words. When this team gets more talented, the culture will be challenged because you'll have great players who'll be like, fuck this Dan Campbell bullshit.
Yeah.
They did it with Scotty Bowman. Bowman had the ability to get rid of him, though.
Yeah.
And he got rid of guys. They did it with Wayne Fonts. When the Lions got good and they had talent, now you had players who were like, what a slapdick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to maintain culture through excellence, like Belichick.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying culture's bullshit where they are right now at this point.
Yeah. You got guys just wanting to make a roster.
Right. And so they're going to be like, how high do I have to jump?
Right.
You know? But when you have guys who are really fucking good, when you have like, when Aiden Hutchinson's an all-pro, he'll probably always buy in. He seems to be like one of those guys who understands it. But, you know, you'll get some star wide receiver who will come in. Like Galladay wasn't buying culture.
No.
You know, I know he was like, I just want to get paid.
Yeah.
And I'm the best player on this team.
What a bum he turned out to be.
Well, you know what?
Right.
What fat bald guy that you know was screaming, "Don't sign that asshole"? This guy, because it happened with Ziggy Ansah and DeAndre Levy. There are guys you can just tell
Yeah.
who want that big contract and don't want to take a hit again.
Yeah.
and I get it. I mean, but don't, you know? I don't want you on my team. Go somewhere else and suck up their cap money.
Yeah. So what do you think then? You know, we've watched the Lions draft. I mean, the wide receiver drafts over the years and all that stuff.
Hey, I think
Do you believe in what they've been doing
Yes.
with this current regime? The way they're drafting linemen on both offense and defense.
So far, so good.
Seems like they're doing something different.
there's a plan.
Okay.
Yep.
And whether it works or not is a whole nother story. But there's definitely a plan. You can tell they're not, you know, like I liked trading up to get the receiver. You need one.
Yep.
And I will tell you, I think Goff's good enough to win.
So do I.
I do.
I didn't think that.
I can't pay him this much money forever, though. If
Right.
I'm the Lions, we're going to have to, you know, get a more realistic contract.
Yeah.
I like him.
See, I didn't, but you know, Troy really got me.
Are you
It's
watching him on Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
He seems like a great teammate.
Yep.
He's in the front row every day.
Yeah.
He's encouraging when Aiden was singing. He was encouraging him.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
like Goff. I
Yeah.
really do.
I think he's going to be a top 12 quarterback.
He
this
might
year.
be.
Yeah.
Their offense, I think, is going to put up points because their defense is going to be a sieve. So they're
Troy
going to
had
have
to,
to.
Troy had to talk me off the ledge last year. I was like, because you know, as an NFC West fan, as a 49er fan, I saw the Rams a lot.
Right.
I saw my Niners beat his ass, and you know, I was like, this guy just doesn't have it. And I'm a big Stafford fan, so for me, I was like, you know, I get it, but Jared Goff really. But I've changed my
There
mind
was
on
no
him.
downside to getting him.
No.
You weren't
No.
going to win.
Got the picks.
You weren't going to win. You
Yep.
got the picks. And if you really think you can make him a good quarterback, he might work out. And if he doesn't, you can draft a quarterback with one of those picks.
Yep.
You'll have a guy that sit on the bench for a year or two, and then you'll have a young quarterback. Because the key to winning in this league is to win the Super Bowl on a quarterback on his rookie
yeah.
contract.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's the key, because then you can spend all your money on defense. So with Goff, his downfall is going to be the money. You can't really pay him $30 million a year. And
No.
what's going to happen after next year? You can dump him and take a $10 million cap hit, or you can keep him and try to work out a long-term deal if you think he's good enough.
Yeah.
You're gonna his story will be told this year in Detroit.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure out whether he can lead this team, and if he can, you got to get a realistic contract with him, and then you got to spend some money on defense and get some more draft picks. There's no linebackers on this team. Rodrigo made the team for Christ's sake.
Yeah, he looks
Rodrigo,
good.
he's first teamer.
Yeah,
It's part of the
He's
propaganda.
starting out there.
He looks like a
But-
heavy hitter, though, man.
he does.
We'll see. But you know, he was the only guy. If you know that mashup they did, where they're like, no, he's like, I love training camp.
Yeah.
To hit people. Like everyone else is like, it sucks.
I know.
It's the worst.
It's like when you're a senior in high school and you're playing your last year of football, for most of us, and you're the senior and you're the biggest, baddest cock of the walk. All you want to do is hit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but when you're a junior, you're like, oh man, the seniors are going to hit today.
They're gonna hit
Yeah, man,
hard.
it's gonna, you know, and you knew you were going to play.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you're the tackling dummy this year. Yeah. And then you come back senior year and your balls are as big as your head. And you're like, yeah, it's my turn.
My turn to be the cock. Of
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you know, it'll be an interesting year for the Lions.
Let me ask you a selfish question.
By the way, Michigan's starting a true freshman at nose guard tomorrow.
Really?
Mason Graham. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll ask you about that as we go out here. What did you think of the Garoppolo signing with my Niners for a year with Trey Lance sitting there?
He's the
and-
backup, though, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
For now.
in quotes.
Okay, but here's the thing: if Trey Lance can't take the competition, you got to know now.
Yeah,
So Trey Lance should elevate his game
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Oh shit, he's looking." Realistically, Garoppolo's not part of their future.
No.
And so I don't know how much it'll push him, but he's a good backup. I'd rather have him than
Oh, yeah.
Nate Sudfeld. What the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah, exactly.
I would have kept Blau over Sudfeld. I think Blau's better than Nate Sudfeld. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Who's the third quarterback? Do they have one?
No, because they got rid of Boyle.
Yeah,
They got to bring one of them back.
And-
Boyle sucks. Get rid of him.
They might bring.
Yeah.
But I mean, why would you cut Blau if you were gonna
well,
sign
a
Sudfeld?
a lot of guys got cut and brought back. Like,
Yeah.
have you
Well, there's
follow that chick
practice
on
squad
TikTok?
stuff.
Which one?
Allison Cooch, her husband plays for the Browns.
No.
She's kind of cute. You should follow her.
Okay.
Her husband got cut and brought back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
That happens.
Practice squad, but still.
Well, right. Yeah. That's.
but I
the
would
story.
bring if there's no who else
I mean,
is
I'm sure
out
Blau
there.
probably went to the practice squad. I can't imagine.
Yeah,
they
I don't
signed
pay
him.
that close attention anymore. But you got to get a third quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
we'll
know.
see.
It's going to be an interesting year for the Leos. I hope they win more, but I still think it's under 5.
I hope they go 0-17, to be honest with you, because I'd rather have that first pick next year, because you're going to get a quarterback. I'd rather be able to take whichever one you want, because if not, if you end up middle of the pack and you're picking 12, 15, some bullshit thing down there in the middle.
Hey, I'm the same way.
And
I want the Pistons.
I don't want to have
more
to
lottery
package
pick.
both those first-round picks to move up to get a quarterback. I want to get a top 5 pick.
And I need Stafford to break his thumb.
Exactly right. Yep.
Nothing major, but just something that's going to be a bitch all year.
Yeah, yes, totally.
And that's the same thing I tell my kids. I need Jaden Ivey to just hamstring all year.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, and I
add
have
another piece
indication
to that.
Because I mean, shit, could you imagine another lottery pick on that Piston
Yeah,
team? I mean,
right.
I think they're going to be good already.
Exactly.
But it's like, if you get one more on each, the Red Wings will be fine. If you get one more injury, if you get an injury for the Rams, maybe a little problem for the Lions, with Goff. Oh shit, we got to play Sudfeld, and then maybe the Pistons just tweak those hammies a little bit.
Yeah.
Next year would be tits.
Exactly right.
It would be great.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. This is a lot of fun. Enjoy the Michigan game. You
I will.
excited? You excited for U of M this season?
I am.
Yeah.
I think they're going to. Well, they don't play anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, and if Penn State last night is any indication, they're getting their face kicked in Ann Arbor. I don't think Michigan. I think Sparty's a fraud.
Yeah.
And then they got to go. They won't, but they should go to Columbus undefeated. They won't. They'll lose.
You think they'll lose
Fuck
one
one up
somewhere in there?
They'll go to Iowa and fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah.
They always do. It's always one.
Yeah.
But they're going to go to the Rose Bowl. How can you bitch about that?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
take my
take
kids to the Rose Bowl. They've never been.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Beautiful.
It'll be a blast. I'm so stoked.
Dude, it's so fun having you in here. Follow Greg at Greg Henson on Twitter. And
I'm getting
Insta.
some fans from you, by the way.
Oh,
Excellent.
good.
Because
So
it comes
am
up
I.
on Facebook and it says mutual friends.
Friends, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a few of those too. I love it, man. I love it.
That's great.
This is so great having you in studio. I can't wait to do
fun.
it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully more.
For sure. We'll do a lot more.
With CC Girl.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good girl. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. Continue to send emails in. I love hearing them. I'll
Absolutely.
ask Greg every question you guys have. I don't care what that question is. Walters@DetroitCast.com. And we'll do it again next week.
Awesome.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
team.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, for sure.